In the deep villages of Homa Bay County, Karachuonyo constituency in Mawego areas, we visit and meet these powerful women, a group of functional and active widows who have come together to form a very powerful group, otherwise known as Mawego Widows Group. Courtesy of Community Forum for Advanced and Sustainable Development, COFAS, Realme Designs and Springs Community Empowerment Foundation, we meet and have a conversation with this group of widows that at the time of our visit had registered over 300 active members who are involved in various economic activities in various villages that they depend on for sustainability and livelihood under the patronage and matronage of Mama Pacific Kobe of Mawego Parish in Homa Bay County.
My name is Pacifica Kobe. I'm the chairperson of the Mawego Widows. The Mawego Widows started some years back. We started it when we learned that most of our children are dropping from school because of finances. And also we were trying to be on our own, because you find that most of women, they end up getting what they are not supposed to get because they are lured because of what they are not having. So, and also some had not even had the shelter. So we came together to see how we can make our own, we can generate our own money, how we can educate our children, how we can also be people in the society, and how we can also be heard within the society. By that, we formed a group, and this group is doing so many activities. We have beekeeping, goat keeping, poultry, we have weaving, we have the small trades, we have farmers, so many of them. And I think if God wishes, one day, whoever is interested can come to Mawego and see exactly what the widows in Mawego are doing.
We took a walk in different villages to see what different groups of widows are doing and their economic activities that they are involved in to improve their livelihood, their production and activities in the society. The first group that we meet as part of Mawego Widows Group is a group from Manga area that are involved in fish farming, crop farming such as maize farming, banana farming, and other activities that they explain to us as we have a conversation together.
It's called Manga Group from Mawego Widows. We started 10 members, and this is the history of the group. The group was formed 2020 by widows who came together for the common goal of self-reliance and commercial sustainability. Objectives: fish farming, poultry farming, table banking, goat farming, vegetable farming, cassava farming, fruits farming. Fish. The pond was constructed 2020 at a cost of 55,000, which involved the digging, and the pond was from members' contributions with the aim of self-sustainability. For the group members, the pond size is 23 by 15 meters. With a capacity of 2,000 fingerlings. The pond liner plus the predator net was donated from the Ministry of Agriculture Fishery Department. The stock was done with 2,000 fingerlings at a cost of 5 shillings per each. The total cash was 10,000, of which after 4 months All the fingerlings died after being poisoned by unknown person. The group did not give up on the project despite the challenges, and 2 months later we stocked the pond with 1,500 fingerlings. After fencing the pond area with chain link, the 1,500 fingerlings were fed with commercial feeds, alternating with local feeds, including ugali, maize flour, ochonga, and grounded omena. Since the group could not afford commercial feeds, we started by tilapia fish.
However, this fish farming activity has been faced by a lot of challenges that has really hindered this group of widows from fishing and getting the best outcome in terms of market, fishing process and maintenance that they explain in this way. So what happens after harvesting now? What do you do with them? Do you take them to the market, and how is the market so far?
The market is not doing very well. Yeah. Because sometimes, especially we don't have the harvesting nets. We don't have. So when we harvest, you must harvest just a little for the surrounding.
With this shortage of farming process and fishing process, how do they manage to get the income for their sustainability?
The income of the money we used. Yeah.
So how do you harvest now that you don't have the harvesting nets?
Mimi uchukua tu neti hii ya neti ya umbu. Nikishaweka vijana wangu wanaingia hapo ndani wanatoa. Sasa hiyo ndio neti yangu.
Na kazi inafanya
kazi ikuwe ngumu sana. Sasa inachukua tu kidogo kidogo. You don't harvest all of them. So you go twice, thrice is when you get them. Okay.
So those are some of the challenges that Mawego Women Group are facing, also in the fish farming sector. So we hope that they will get the best support that they need so that they can do their best and harvest and keep producing and keep farming, and of course to expand the production that they are doing right here in this village. This is something that is just coming up, and it is already empowering so many widows in this region, and we hope that in the coming years through this project they are going to enlighten them, to support them, and to give them the best support that they require in this group. Cynthia, this is just one of the groups that are under Mawego Widows Group, and right here we are going to visit so many other groups to see what they do in terms of production, economic activities, social sustainability, and other programs that they do under Mawego Widows Group. After tremendous work traversing the regions, rivers and hills of this region, we meet another group of women under Mawego Widows Group who are involved in poultry farming and goat rearing, just as they explain to us.
Erokamano, an Peresa Dembola. Awuok e Mawego Widows to e lower ka wan gi group miluongo ni St. Stephen's stroke Nyadwera group. Kaka wasebedo nwachako farming mar pith mar diek. E pith mar diek ni nwachako ka wagedo. Ka wasegedo nwahend makoro ne wakelo diek. Ei pidhni kanwagedo ni nokawa siling mondo wagedi mwa fence te nokawa siling 35,000. Bang'e nwachako mondo mikoro nwakel diek. Kapok nwakelo diek ne waonge pesa. Nwayudo well wishers moko mano chip in mondo mi ne boost wa pesa. Mondo pesa gi nwayudo go kaka nwadhi kelo diek. Diegi nwakawo matindo Sama nwakawogi 2022 e dwe mar abich. Wasebedo kodgi mondo mi giyud kata kaka giyudo nyithindo. Wasebedo kwayudo nyithindo matin. Challenge moko bwaseromoga eigi. Waseyudo moko motho kaluwore nikech nwaonge gi daktari machiegni. Magiko manwakawo duto ne gin 35. E sechego nwawito 7 madongo. Matindo bende nwawito 4. Bang'e koro nwadong' gi diek 28. Gi thigi mangima 4. Sani bende pod wageno mondo mi wayud moko nikech moko nitie ma igi odongo. Wageno mondo wayud nyithindo matindo. Koro gik ma wasebedo kwa neno en ni mondo wabed gi yedhe mondo wayud kaka wathiedho diewagi e yo makare. Osebedo ka challenge kuomwa maduong'. Koro wakwayo ni ka wanyalo yudo ni wabed kata gi veterinary officer machiegni kodwa. Bende nyalo konyowa ma iringo tidhire machiegni piyo piyo to konyi kata igone sime to konyi. Ok osebedo maber manomiyo walalo mamokogo. Watema kaka jo mond liete, lakini to pod ok odhinwa maber nikech onge gima waseyudo kaka mond liete e idiewago. Pod wan mana jopith, pok wauso nikech namba wacha nodok piny. Mosenyuol bende pod tin to nwakawogi ka gitindo. Ei mago duto nwachako pith mar gwen. Pith mar gwen ni en ema bet osedhirowa maber nikech ka wachako gi 100. Ei 100 ka ne waseuso ma bende at least sani ma wan godo piny wadong' mana gi gwen moko madhi 30. Ei gwen 30 gi gin manyuolo tong', ok ginyuol nyithindo. Koro tong' gi emosebedo ka koro wauso konyo members ka watimo godo nyaka merry go round. Wayudo pesa mwaketo piny ma ng'ato nyalo yudo kata kaka odhi ng'iewo alot moro bo yudo matin odhi ochulo ne nyathi fees. Lakini to pod wan gi challenge kanyo nikech pesa pod watin go kaka mond liete wan gi joma tindo man gi nyithindo matindo ma pod tero skul. Koro kanyo pod wadware kony nikech kony no ka wayudo to pod biro terowa kamoro. Mano kwayowa maduong' kaka widows. Erokamano.
Group ma St. Stephen koni unyalo bedo ni widows maromo nade?
Wan widows 15.
So far kung'iyo pith mar gwen kachiel kod mar diek ma un godo, unyalo wacho ni okang' mane ma uneno kusegoyo kuom thuolo musebedo kutimo kuom thuolo maromo nade?
E thuolo mwasebedo kwatime matiende ni e diek nwachako 2022 dwe mar abich. To nwachako gi diek mathiso. Ema miyo pod ok waneno hande nikech ne gin diek mathindo ma kor ka ikwano ka ng'ama ong'eyi keto pod okaw ni en jahiga moro madhi abich ka. Koro ma wasebedo godo from last year mane koro moko mane bet oting'ore malo oseyudo nyithindo, moko be owito nyithindgi, moko bende otho. Koro mana challenge mwayudo maduong'. Koro korka diek onge gima waseyudo kaka widows. Onge ohande mwaseyudo nikech pod gitindo. Kato gitin pod ok wanyal usogi. Koro gwen ema nwakawo to watieko godo. Gwen bende wachako last year 2023 dwe mar 8. Mago nwakam magene manucho waseusogi. Kono kende mwaseyute lakini diek pok wayute kaka widows ma St. Stephen.
Erokamano ahinya. Aparo ni mama wacho maler gino magidwaro, gigo magisetimo kod gigo magitimo gisani. From St. Stephen's Group under Mawego Widows Group, we move to another group to see what they do in terms of production and activities. Right, ladies and gentlemen, bado tuko hapa Mawego Widows Group hapa Homa Bay County in Karachuonyo constituency, na tumetembea. They have a lot of activities going on. We've seen the previous activities. Right here we are in another location dealing with another activity. Now we have a member here. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much. I'm called Melda Akeyo Onda, Mawego Women Widows Group. So here we had so much challenges. As you know, when you've lost your husband, you will go a lot of challenges. So we thought of not being idle, and we want to be strong and not those that are begging from others. So we thought of doing some farming. So here we have a farming here. We did the maize. It is along from here up to down there.
Is it how many acres?
It's like more than 1 acre. Yeah. So we are doing this so that we can see how we can help ourselves if we are not begging from others. Okay, so there's so many challenges that we get from here because you are alone, and farming you cannot do without involving some other things. Like you have to have the seeds, you have to have the fertilizer, you have to have those that are helping doing it, that are the helpers. So it has a lot of things. For you to make it, you have to go through a lot of things. So those are the challenges that we get here, because you know when you are alone, even getting the cars that you can use in doing this, for you to harvest very well is very hard. So those are the challenges we are getting here.
So apart from maize, what else do you do?
We also plant even beans. Beans we plant at this time. We already harvest the beans. Yeah. Yeah, to start over. Yes. So imebaki tu mahindi.
But even here in farming, they have challenges that they face as a group that hinders their production, their farming activities, and their programs.
You have to go through a lot for you to get this, because first you have to, if you don't have those how to kulima. First, if you don't have those you have to go borrow watu wa kusaidia, even from the digging you have to. So those are the challenges. Yeah. Anything like me, anything that I'm doing, I have to use the Samba boys. Yeah, the helpers. Because first, when you are planting, you plant, they put the requirements, the seeds, the mbolea. After that, plowing. You have to do it twice for you to make it. Yeah, you have to plow twice. The first one and the second one, for you to harvest something that can help you going.
This is not the last group that is involved in various productive activities, but as you have seen, we have a lot going on under Mawego Widows Group, and from this one we move to another group, and one thing that you have noticed is that they do different activities from other groups. Every group has its own activity. Let's take a look at the next group and see what they do.
Kore mane waneno ni wabed ure group, wabed jako ng'at achiel, wamin tol. Tol wasemino.
They chose to do this kind of weaving because that is the only thing available to help them educate their kids as a group, put food on the table, and have something little for their lives. But at the same time, they have been doing it for the longest time, but life has never been easy, just as they explained to us, but in their local dialect.
Kwa mine kama tuwakao pesa ng'ato tuwayudo kokonyore. Koro wachimo kode, wanyalo yudo konanga moro warwako. Koro sani gima tek ahinya kaka wayud pesa mondo koro mi
their main challenge, they say, is the low consumption rate in the local markets, as many people have preferred using the current Manila ropes as compared to these sisal ropes. Another challenge that they face is the distance from which they get the sisal materials that they use to produce these ropes, as well as the long and tiresome process of making these ropes that is faced due to the lack of current machines that would otherwise prosper and upgrade and fasten their rate of production. From here, we visit another group that is also involved in a different economic activity, production and livelihood. Just as we visited the rest, they have a very unique activity that they show us in this manner. This group is involved in beekeeping that they tell us how they started, how they are faring on, and how so far they have experienced this kind of unique farming deep inside the village, as they explain to us accordingly. This group under Mawego Widows Group started this unique farming some few years ago and have since harvested in every season, but still they face a lot of challenges, as the main challenge being lack of harvesting gears, lack of harvesting materials, lack of enough food for the bees, and insecurity that has always led to theft of their honey.
Samoro en gilaw to kwang'e ni en gilaw. Koro bira chunyo tieno ka ok wanyal ng'eyo ni ng'ato nie bungu ka manyalo kayo kich. Koro wan ka kiny wabiro to wayudo ka kich onge, manyiso ni ng'ano nosekayo kich modhi godo. Kamano.
Kich nyalo paro ni osekwal didi kama eri kaka ne ochak timo maeri.
Nyaka nwa chak gine pidho kich wakwano di 4. Ogibi dwe ka dwe ndalo moromo gigo okang'. Koro ndalo 4. Nyadi 4.
Gisani paro nang'o ma kanyalo timore to nyalo konyo wa ahinya ohala mutimo kata mane tich mutimo mar pidho kich ni eri kaka joma.
Sani ka gima nyalo konyo ahinya kwa pidho sunflower ma kothe bende waonge godo, to nyalo miyo wakeyo mang'eny nikech kich omo mafua mar sunflower. Nyalo miyo wakeyo mang'eny. To nikech kaka dwa yud koth sunflower, pesa ma dwa yudi mondo wapidhgo sunflower ema onge.
Ma sunflower koyudore kuonde mopidho gi to un godo ma sunflower kodhi gi kaka nyalo pidhe ema nyaka sani pod onge.
Kuonde ma wanyalo pidhe sunflower to nitie, kech mana puothe wa mwa pidhe chamgi ema wanyalo pidhe sunflower. To mana kwa pidhe ji mang'eny makoro miyo winy bende ok lar kodwa sunflower.
Some of the improvements that they need to do as a group is the plantation of sunflower products that will be used to improve their honey production, as bees need them for production. Another thing is the improvement of security that will prevent thieves from hiding and stealing their honey that is always stolen when it is due for harvesting.
Kendo waonge gik mang'eny bende. Law bende waonge go. Chuno wani nyaka wadho amany mana law, mana kindu. Mano bende nyalo miyowa ka wabedo gi law to kich ok nyalo wuodho e seche mowinjore. Koro wadwaro support, ma ka wanyalo yudo support to wanyalo dhi maber e yorwa mar kichni, kendo nyalo konyowa kabisa moloyo kaka ne wasebedo kode. Kamano.
From the look of things, it is almost sunset, but Mawego Widows Group still does a lot that we have not given to you as part of the empowerment of the widows of this particular group that have been left with nothing but their hands to produce, encounter and face the life together with their children in their livelihood. This is another village. Here we meet another group of 15 widows under Mawego Widows Group who invested in a fish pond, the one that is now laying helpless behind us, and as you can see, it was invaded by villagers through insecurity in the region and due to the fact that they didn't fence it. According to them, they have never had funds enough to construct a wall or a fence to secure their fish pond. This led to the young youths in the region invading their fish pond and taking away their fish illegally and making them to be left without anything to produce.
Koro challenges ma omiyo girwani dhi marach. Oko chiele malong'o. Koro rech nyithindo gola gola. To wang'iyo ni piny masani wawinjo mana ni rech ne makoro ipidho. Fish no ang'i ka ni fish pond en rech ne makoro dikonji. Kech en gima chiek piyo. Nong'iso dweche 6 ngege ose bedo harvest.
All they are asking is from the local and international community to help in any way possible through donation and funding to help them protect their only source of income, that is the fish pond, so that they can manage to fence it and protect it and keep producing their fish to help them as a group to boost their sources of livelihood as visible. Through the coordination of Madam Elizabeth Mokonnen, we were privileged and happy to experience and to witness a great conference that brought together all these widows from their respective villages and groups and camp at Mawego Parish, where this conference was brought together to empower them, educate them, enlighten them through Springs organization that is guided and led by Madam Margaret Auma.
I'm called Reverend Canon Margaret. I'm an Anglican priest based in Kisumu, and I'm the founder and the current executive director of Springs Community Empowerment Foundation. We work with widows and orphans all over, and today we decided to organize in collaboration with Mawego Parish widows. We organized a one-day widows conference with the theme of a courageous widow. And we just wanted to empower. We realized a widow can be blessed materially, but unless her mind is empowered, things just get lost. So today we have almost 300 widows in attendance, and we are doing a lot of capacity building all over, but today we are here. We have worked with widows for about 27 years as Springs Community Empowerment Foundation. We do conferences, we do gatherings, we do visitations to their local groups. So we are going to see what we call widow to widow empowerment. We want to see what other widows are doing so that these other widows can also be empowered. And if they see what the others are doing, they learn from it. Like today, they are also learning from each other. When they hear the stories of successful widows, they are actually learning. And so when we joined in collaboration with Mawego, we want to see what they are doing here, so that we carry the ideas to the other widows, and the widows that we have come with from Kisumu and Siaya counties can also learn from them. And this is really something that we are following up as an organization of Springs, because we realize, as much as I'm a church minister, but we don't concentrate on widows. Really, they are a kind of vulnerable, neglected people. And so when we found our heart is with them, we want to penetrate every corner where we are allowed to just gather them, and they share their stories to encourage each other. On church areas, very few people identify with widows. No, very few people. As much as there are our congregants, but very few churches positively and actively identify with widows. Another thing, it is very difficult to help the young widows. Like recently we have started what we call the Young Widows Group, 40 and below. And even today we are having one that is 25 years. And the challenges they get from the community, the issue of wife inheritance, there is no property, they don't have land, they don't have houses. And now what we are really pushing for is that how the young widows can get houses and also be able to own the properties their husbands left. So that is a big challenge. And resources. Because if you want to put up a house for a widow, you must have money. You must also help stabilize the widow and also empower them economically, give them some business that they are doing. So that is a big challenge, but for older widows who are grandmothers, the challenge of taking care of orphaned children. If their children are dead, they are left with their grandchildren. So it's like the grandmothers are having small orphanages in their homes. And feeding these children, taking them to school is a big challenge. And maybe shelter, because some of the grandmothers who are widowed early may not have a good house. And with all these children they're there, they need to have a good shelter. So shelter, education for children, and also property for young widows. And also the young widows who may have maybe rushed into marriage, we need to take them back to school to learn some skill or just be fully educated to help themselves.
As we finish our 2 days activities with the widows, we feel empowered, motivated, uplifted by their spirits and activities that they have joined to come together to uplift, grow, and empower each other in their various categories. Through these, we request each and every organization, group, or society that may come together to help, boost, and make these widows grow to achieve their dreams of giving their children and their families a better life, just like they would do when they had their husbands. As we let the widows to go through their conference, we say a big thank you to all the people and organizations who made this possible. Special thanks to the Community Forum for Advanced and Sustainable Development, COFAS, Roleami Designs in partnership with Springs Community Empowerment Foundation, Mama Pacifica Kobe of Mawego Parish, Mama Margaret Auma of Springs Community, Mama Elizabeth Mukonen, and all the society, community, and the Mawego Widows Group for this great opportunity for empowerment, growth, and development of this spirit of activities. This brings us to the end of our trip, tour, and the journey to Mawego Widows Group, as brought to you by SK Media through the sponsorship and partnership of Madam Elizabeth Mukonen, Springs Community Empowerment Foundation, Roleami Designs, and Community Forum for Advanced and Sustainable Development, COFAS. This brings us to the end of this amazing story, brought to you by Simi Kenya. And just as we wind up, we get some little dance and refreshments from these invited super talented artists. And just as they say, too much work without a play will make our widows have a dull moment.
Mama,